Let's clean it
You
up.
are live. So, hey, welcome. Those of you, welcome if you're joining Stormfront Freaks Raw tonight. This is episode 162, and this is the raw recording of our audio podcast episode. So we call it raw because it is unedited. So if you're watching right now, you're going to get all the breaks that we edit out, all the swear words that MJ has to beep out, all the giggles and laughs that go longer than probably 20 seconds. We usually cut those down a little bit.
They get creepy, don't they? After that long.
What's that?
They get creepy after.
For 20 seconds, you're like, that's creepy.
After a while, yeah. But sometimes you can't help it, right? So, and I also want to do a special shout out for anybody that's watching live. So the live, if you want to watch us live, there's really only one option, and that is to join us on our Patreon. So if you go to stormfrontfreaks.com, you can find the link to our Patreon site. That'll tell you all the different levels you can pick from, and most of those levels will include the ability to get our bi-weekly broadcast live. So that's how you do it. But tonight, as kind of a tie-in with our guest, Jen Walton, we are also live to the Girls Who Chase Patreon members. So welcome if you are part of the Girls Who Chase Patreon. Welcome to Stormfront Freaks Raw as well. You not only get to watch us live, you can always stream this up to 30 days after we go live before it's released to the public. So just want to welcome our Girls Who Chase Patreon members as well.
Woohoo!
So there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah.
And she made it.
Hi.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Hi,
Jen, how
Jen.
are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
We're
It's
so
good to be had.
excited.
Yeah, you're glad you're here.
On all ends, yes.
All right, you sound good. Hey, Jen Watson, I want quick have you tell us what you've been doing today. I want to hear you one more time.
You want to hear me one more time?
There,
I'm
all
so
right, no, you're
excited.
good.
Okay,
Hit
good.
me, baby,
is
one more
better.
time.
Yes. Jen Walton. I love how we have almost the same name. Jen Watson. Jen Walton.
I mean, I was gonna say actually that's even rougher than what I normally deal with, which is at least like 5 Jennifers everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's okay though. It's awesome. I love it.
Phil,
And
did you hear
Jay's her
the
buzz.
crackling?
Yeah, there's
Hearing
a buzz
some
somewhere.
crackling.
I did hear a little bit. So Jen, what were you doing today? Walton, sorry, Jen Walton. We're gonna have
And
to.
Walton.
Yeah.
It today has felt like nonstop Girls Who Chase meetings. Actually.
Oh, really?
Our most recent coverage on the Today, I mean, each spate of coverage we've had has resulted in various inquiries, hearing from folks, whether it's partnerships or interview requests. So today was a partnership discussion and then a discussion with our 6th TV production company who thinks they have a show here.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Been
Whoa.
a little insane around here lately. It's still
So
catching up.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I should have been, what I should have been doing is my job, the job that pays my bills. So that's been an interesting thing to balance. But yeah.
All right. So let's do this. I didn't hear that artifact anymore, MJ.
I didn't either.
But I did
Neither
notice
did Dan.
Jen Walton, you cut out just a little bit there at the end, and then you were kind of lagging behind you were doing this, and then it was silent, and then you weren't talking, and you were finishing a sentence. So,
But we did
But-
still hear it.
but right, we could still for the most part hear it. So
So I have an external microphone and this. I think I chose correctly, but I can do away with the external microphone because this
Tap-
one
tap
also.
your mic.
Tap your external mic. Yep, that's
okay.
the one.
So that's what you're using, and you sound good.
it does.
Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe a internet upload speed challenge or
Could
I
be.
but you've been doing things all day today, so I'm sure
Yeah.
it's got to be fine. You would think, or maybe your computer's just going. Oh, I can't take it anymore.
Probably. It's possible. Yeah. I should be okay on speed, but there's always a chance that my laptop is like, oh no. Before you were editing storm pictures and now you've been on Zoom all day and I'm just done.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can do something if you think it would help.
Nope,
It does kind of look like watching like one of those like foreign films, like the Japanese ones, where you're not quite following. Right. I knew. I would.
Movie.
Yeah, the kung fu movies.
I don't. How about I exit and come back briefly, and I'll turn my Wi-Fi on and off and see if I can't kind of get everything to line up.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll just give one shot, and
unless it's 20
we'll
minutes,
be fine
and
if
then
not.
no.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll see it back.
Yeah, no. This should take like 4 seconds. So
Okay.
it's famous last words, but
Did she say
Or
200?
maybe she could have done a restart, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Excuse
I
me.
will
right, hi,
get my
Serena.
sword.
I was gonna say I haven't had a chance.
Rita!
How's the
Hey.
Mrs. America prep coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Less than a month away. Like actually, a month minus 1 day is like it'll be all
Wow.
over with, which is just crazy.
8:20, huh?
So how long are you going to be out there for?
Over a week.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, over a week, which is
Where is
we're
it
gonna-
at, Serena?
It's in Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby, Vegas. Yeah. So I fly
Hey,
out
Phil?
Don't melt.
a Thursday.
Rita, you should have your own episode. Seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Phil, don't give me that look, man.
People, yeah. I feel like-
We've had her on as a guest before. That's how we got her on
Well,
in the
we've
first
had
place.
other people.
Hey,
on as
but
guests
I mean,
multiple
after she
times.
comes back and gets the
Oh,
crown,
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
then you got to wear the crown.
dude, if I get it, then that's crazy. Then I'm gonna go nuts. That would be awesome.
Okay. Here she is, Mrs. America. Do they sing that same song or is it different?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Let's hope I get to find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wishful thinking, right? It's all up here.
Where did they make the cuts? Like after you do because you said there's no talent portion.
No, there's not. So
what are the segments and when did they start making cuts?
Yeah, so there's everyone gets to participate in the pageant on Saturday. So there's like an interview round beforehand that happens like a day or two beforehand that everyone has to participate in. And then there's like swimsuit and evening gown. And then like they'll whittle it down. So then they'll announce like who the top 15 is right there on stage. Those top 15 will come forward. They'll all have them do something.
Like this.
Whittle it down. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. They'll whittle it down like a top 6. They'll ask them all like a stage question. And then after that, it's like you've got those top 2 and it's should Mrs. America not fulfill her duties? The first runner up is, and then they announce that winner and there's like roses that fall from the sky.
You got to like do some stuff from Miss Congeniality though, from the
Yeah,
movie,
that's
where
what I
she's
was
like
thinking.
hitting her with the
Yes.
roses and.
You know what? I already feel like I'm pretty far out of my league, but I'm like going for it. So I already kind of feel a little bit like Sandra Bullock. Like, what am I doing? Like, I gotta get my high heel shoes, guys. Like I gotta go buy high heel shoes.
So do you know, is this broadcast live anywhere?
It is, yeah. So you can watch it online. That will be broadcast online.
Online, okay.
Which day?
All right,
what's
we're
the
gonna
date?
have to all watch
America.com or
it.
something.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's on Saturday, August 20th.
Cool.
What time do you know? Does it start?
I don't know exactly yet, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know.
That's appointment
Yeah,
TV right there. Yeah, Angela says watch
Watch
party. We
party,
should do a
yeah.
watch party.
Yeah.
Jen, you're back. How are you doing?
Okay.
Hi. And hi, Angela. By the way, good to see you. Angela is also one of our Girls Who Chase patrons, and she's been wonderfully supportive.
Nice.
So
Nice.
glad to
Great.
see her in here.
We
Am
love
I
Angela
still
is
lagging?
incredible. Yeah.
Angela is incredible. I completely agree. And we desperately need to get her a storm when she's not working.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
1,000%.
That's because it's tough to chase in an 18-wheeler. I would agree.
Yeah.
These are the good wins
Just
that
buy me
I
a
really
Dow.
like to get into.
I just need a Dow. Somebody buy me
Need
a
a
Dow.
Dow.
I'll be happy.
Actually, yes. You'd be amazing at driving that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will join you, Angela.
All right. Jen, so what did you do, Jen? Tell us what you did while you were gone, Walton.
I hopefully removed the lag that you were seeing that made me look weird. Somebody's nodding. So
Yes.
I turned my Wi-Fi on and off, and then I re-entered.
Okay. Cool. I did hear a little of that static now when you were just talking. But
Hey, everybody
fan?
mute. Everybody mute except Jen. And then let's have Jen go ahead and just tell us something about something, Women Who Chase or something like that.
How about I just ate a granola bar before I came in here, so I wasn't thinking about how hungry I was.
Yep, it is you. I just wanted to
It's me.
to see.
Okay.
And it was your.
So why don't? How about I try to?
Can you just restart? Maybe just restart your computer. Just do a restart if you haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry.
join us up one more time.
I want it. I've done the same thing to people for our podcast, so I completely understand.
Hey, do
right.
a couple software updates too, if you could.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll take.
We'll
some
see you
shots.
tomorrow.
I might go take some shots before I come back.
Yeah,
That
that would be good
sounds
too.
great. Yes.
All right. I'll be back.
Okay.
I can also, while I'm at it, do you want me to remove the external mic? Is there a chance it's that?
Well,
and then just go with
if it
these?
doesn't work, let's do that.
Okay.
I mean, if it doesn't work, the restart, then we'll switch mics. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. See you in a minute.
But what will happen, of course, she'll come back and it'll sound great, and then 10 minutes into it, it'll be. But
Well, we'll just be prepared to catch the time and
yeah.
stop and re-ask the question or have her.
Hopefully, it's not a Commodore.
Because she was good other times, and then
Right.
hopefully it's not what.
A Commodore.
A Commodore.
64.
Commodore. Man, that's old school.
The first weather computer.
It's the tape drive
Chiron.
that's broken.
That's amazing.
The cassette tape drive.
Remember, back up to tape. Remember those?
I just always like the big black floppies, not the 3.5-inch ones.
Oh
the
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
big old,
Ah,
big
absolutely.
ones.
big. Those I always was so fascinated with those. I thought they
Yep.
were so cool.
5 1/4.
Is that what they
Yep,
were? 5.25?
Five and a quarter. Yep.
Yeah.
5 1/4.
And they were truly floppies.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to make them go further, you used a hole punch, and you punched a little notch in the other side so you could flip it over and use the other side of it too.
No way.
Yes,
You
that was,
have
that was a
that.
hack. Yeah, that was a
I
hack to
didn't
make
know that.
get
That's-
more storage on it.
Wow.
What was one side? Was it like 612 kilobytes or something like that?
Probably 512, I would guess. Maybe I don't know.
512.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah, it was kilobytes. It wasn't even 1 megabyte worth.
no.
Oh, that's so wild.
What are we up to now? Petabytes?
Petabytes.
Peta?
So how many petabytes?
Well, there's exabytes, and there's
Okay.
there's several levels past tera.
I know Tara, and that's where my brain. Then I.
I think
that's where I
Peta.
stopped too.
I think Peta.
And I'm
comes
like,
after
it's got to be
Tera.
good. After that, it's got to be good. It's like when you go buy an external hard drive, you're like, oh, it's like so many terabytes. Oh, yeah, it's got to be good then. How much stuff do I have?
1.2 megs on what, Dan? That wasn't the 5 1/4.
Yeah.
No.
I just
Yeah, it might have been. It might have
I
been.
just looked it up. I didn't
Wow,
know.
I swear to God, it was kilobyte. It was like 6-7 kilobytes. Wow. Okay. Are you sure you're
No,
not
I
thinking of
figured
the
it was-
smaller?
No, the smaller ones had more actually.
Okay. Well,
Well,
no,
yeah.
I knew they had more, but that's why I was thinking.
Oh,
Well, then
no.
wouldn't it have been 1,200 kilobytes?
No, it wasn't 1,200. I know
Well,
the conversion, but no,
Yeah,
I
1.2
swear to God, it
megabytes,
was
a little more than
it was,
that.
Yeah.
I remember my very first digital camera, and it was what I did. I went storm chasing with 20 years ago, and you can insert one of those the 3.5 floppies into the side of it, and that's
Wow,
what I saved all
really?
my photos on. I
Really?
still have the box of the floppies from like my old storm chase photos from that.
Say 5 pictures.
Wow.
Yeah,
I had at
exactly.
work. We had the first Apple digital camera,
Yes.
and it was like binoculars.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
It was just this huge. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember my first beer.
Was it Liney's in a bottle?
No, I think it was Schlitz.
Oh,
Schlitz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Schlitz malt liquor.
Did you drink it out of a paper bag though? Did you put it in the paper bag and
Because you were sneaking.
that classes it
No,
up?
I think it was out of a keg. It's
Oh,
somebody's
Yeah.
wedding
I can
reception.
imagine
Boy,
that.
Schlitz out of a keg.
think I was in
Better than
Minnesota.
that, man.
And they're like, hey,
Sounds right.
you're 14. You want a drink?
Hey,
I
my
did.
first keg beer was Hams,
Oh, hams.
Oh,
and
actually,
Hams.
oh
That
god, I oof, didn't
from the
even
land
Never
of
finish
even
the
heard
guy.
of that.
Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Hams beer. I don't. Do they still make it?
They
I've
do.
never
I've never
actually.
heard of
Do
it.
they?
Mm.
I think the
Minnesota
brewery in New Ulm makes it still.
Wow.
New Ulm.
So they
Oh my
bought the
God.
name, bought the recipe or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Or Falstaff.
Do you ever? Oh, I
What's
remember
the
that one
oldest
too. Any-
beer brand you guys can think of? Like Schlitz is an old one, but
Schlitz is old.
I think
Uh,
Well,
some of the
Leinenkugel's
European
old.
ones-
Lion and Kugel's is old.
Well,
What about
Budweiser's
Yingling. I'm
old.
sorry, Yingling is old.
Ah,
I've never
yeah.
heard of that one either.
It's
That's
Really?
an East Coast one,
Chinese
right?
years. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Anybody remember red, white, and blue beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a
I
roommate in
do.
college who that's all he would drink, and he was so excited one time when he found it in a keg.
Ah,
How about
Do
Red
they still
Stripe?
make that?
Yeah.
I have
Red
not
Stripe,
seen
bleh.
that forever.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
Jamaican beer, Red Stripe.
I passed out on that in this Jamaican sun.
That's shocking.
Standing up,
You just-
bam,
Stripe.
down. I mean,
Wasn't-
standing up and went down.
Wasn't there like Blatz? Remember Blatz?
Oh,
Blatz,
that's
yes.
Was
That
it?
was
Oh,
terrible.
Blatz.
That
It's
was
first you
terrible.
drink it, then you say it. Yeah.
Schmidt
Blatz.
Schmidt beer.
Schmidt beer. Yep.
So Yingling claims to be one of the oldest breweries in America, having
Yeah,
started
it could
first
be.
brewing in 1829.
Yeah.
You better hope
Yeah.
that's your question, Mrs. America.
Yeah. No kidding.
What's
Yeah,
the
you better
oldest-
get brushed up on all your New Hampshire stuff too. You know,
Oh,
I'm sure they're
so you
going to
wanna
ask
hear-
you that.
So the coolest part, all right, so I do have to share this because I don't want to distract from the show. There's a costume, and all the girls have to show up in a state costume. And it's like, what's my state costume? Like, it's New Hampshire, right? Like, what am I going to be? Like a bottle of maple syrup? I don't know. This is going to be interesting. And I
Franconia.
thought of the greatest one. And because, I'm going there talking about STEM and weather education and all that, I am going as the anemometer on the summit of Mount Washington.
That's
Nice.
Cool.
I found a
Nice.
skirt that looks like clouds. It's big and poofy. The tower the anemometer is on is red. So I got this like red jumpsuit that fits. And I'm going to make my arm stick out like this. And I've got an RM Young anemometer that I'm going to hold. And I'm literally going to walk out onto the stage with this like cloud-like dress, holding an anemometer, like walking out onto the stage. Whether
Nice.
people, this is cool stuff. Everyone else is going to be like, what is that woman
Mic
doing?
drop.
I'm so excited. I
There
am
you go.
so excited.
I win.
Nina, my fingers are so crossed for you. I was telling Nina when we met, when we had brunch, there was a Weather Channel meteorologist 3 years ago or 4 years ago in 2018. She was first runner up for Mrs. America. And so it was, yeah. So
Close.
yeah. So
Who
close.
was it? I forget. Did we
It's
remember who it was?
Liana Brackett was there.
I don't know.
She was
I didn't know
Mrs.
her.
Georgia.
Ah,
Okay.
And then there was two meteorologists that year in the top 10. It was Liana and then the meteorologist from California.
Wow.
there was last year California
There's a
was a
precedent.
meteorologist.
Oh
Do you remember
yeah.
that? But none of them are bringing the weather like I am. None of them.
No,
are
no,
Right.
no.
You
Serena's
coulda
gonna
gone-
get rain.
Could have gone as a sling psychrometer, but then you'd have to do the hula to get the
Oh,
That's true.
Right.
That's
that'd be
true.
kind of cool.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
They always
actually
do.
a great idea.
Have you like stoked out the competition and what their backgrounds are and
Yeah, it's everything. It's cool.
Okay.
It's really neat. There's an online chat group of all the girls. So it's like every state, we're all in this one chat and talking together, like finding out who our roommates are. My roommate is Mrs. Connecticut. So we get to share a room out there for like 7 days or whatever, which is pretty cool.
Wow. But she's
more
not going to
than
be as cool as me.
No,
This
Dina,
is true,
my,
Dina.
my
This is
sister from another mister. There's no one who can.
Yeah. I'm the best roommate.
Yeah, it's gonna
Putting
be
it
hard
out there.
It's gonna be hard to find someone who loves effing birds as much as you do.
By the way, Angela, I love that you tried out for Miss Choctaw,
Yeah, that's
Oklahoma.
That's cool.
That's fun.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yes.
So epic.
You got like something, a snake on the floor there, Phil, or something?
No, I
That's,
got caught here. I just realized I don't have a lightning round. As you were talking about questions, I'm like, oh shit.
We're supposed to bring something, weren't we?
We're gonna make something up here.
Serena, did you picked out your dress, right?
Yeah, I've got my interview outfit. I've got my gown for the thing. I've got my costume and a couple other things. Like every single night is, appearances and dinners, and so it's like I've got to have something to wear every single night. It's fancy, which is really fun and a complete 180 from my day-to-day life right now.
Yeah.
That's
What if it's
awesome.
at the
T-shirts
airline
and
luggage?
shorts.
Yeah, I'm terrified about that happening. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm like, should I FedEx my stuff in a box? Is that better or worse?
Mm.
Ooh,
Yeah, really.
That's a
Maybe
good
it's such a
question.
hard drive.
yeah.
Like, I would
FedEx
just-
tossed our laptop onto the
Ooh.
steps. I have it on tape,
Ooh.
but on video.
Do you?
Wow.
I was going to send it to the CEO and go, golden package, huh?
UPS.
Jen's back.
He's back. I think.
Can't I
Are you
hear it?
there?
Hello.
You look good.
Oh, no, I can't hear.
1 second.
But while we're waiting, Josh showed up online watching, and
Hello.
everybody's got to check out his lightning shots on Discord. He must have posted some things on
Ooh,
Discord.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll check
Yeah.
that out.
Ooh.
Yep.
Josh, so
Absolutely.
cool. Thanks for sharing.
Can you
those.
hear us, Jen? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, there we got
we've
you.
Been
We
having
got
a
you now, too.
disagreement about.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Can
I wonder if she just
Dang
turns
it.
her camera off.
you hear me?
No, we even
And
lost
who
your
was
audio there.
disagreement about.
It's better. I changed out earphones. We're having a disagreement. What?
I wonder if she turns off her camera, Phil.
yeah. I don't know because right now, Jen, we're not hearing you at all.
Just-
Sorry.
And why?
Oh.
You're not hearing me at all.
Okay. No, we're just hearing you as a delayed. It's just delayed
It's
a little
getting-
bit.
It's been off and on. Yeah,
It's
it's been
about a
off and on.
6-minute delay. It's pretty late.
Those on-air delays are so hard.
Oh, it's frustrating. I know.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. Yeah.
That's good. It's given me time to. I realized I wasn't ready.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I just switched my audio to AirPods. Is that any better?
Yes.
Well, for the moment, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I should have I have one of those, like, purportedly the speed is where it should be and everything
Yeah.
is connected. I even restarted my modem while I was at it.
Oh,
just
wow,
in
okay.
case.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
Yeah, we just
Well, we
can't.
hear you now, I think.
Don't watch her and expect to hear at the same time as she's talking because it is still
it's
in
lagging.
sync. It's not
Okay.
synced all the time. Some of the time it is, but not
Yeah.
all
I
the
could
time. So,
I could talk like this.
Yeah.
Is that better?
that's okay.
No, we don't want you to do that.
Oops.
Awesome. Oh no, I can't hear Phil.
Glass half full. Yeah. I don't know. My
Phil,
glass
what are you
runs on
doing?
empty a lot, Dan.
Phil's
don't
trying
hear
to
you,
talk.
Phil.
We can't hear you,
Oh,
Phil.
sorry, I was muted
Okay.
This
over
one's
here.
full.
You
Okay,
do know
so
when we get to what are you drinking, it's now what were you drinking?
what were you? Go get a
I
new
know
one.
this one's almost gone.
Because it's 8:23. Yikes.
All right, so I'm gonna quick do the pre-opening. We'll send our VIPs back to the green room, and I'm gonna do the. So I'll do the quick
Nice.
pre-opening, and then we'll come back and get started. So the teaser. All right, 3, 2. Hey, Storm Freaks, it's Phil, and we have Girls Who Chase founder Jen Walton in the studio. Plus #WeatherFools and our summer edition of funny weather memes. It's here on episode 162 of the Storm Front Freaks podcast. All right,
Wow.
you guys ready?
Wow,
So what
that
we'll
was
do-
Brought
exciting.
the energy.
Okay.
The
we'll
intensity is real.
Woo! Let's do this. So we're gonna do the normal intro. We'll do what everyone's go around the horn, do what's drinking, and then Maz, you ready to introduce Jen?
Yes, sir.
We're good. All right. So we'll go for about 20 minutes or so. And then in the private chat, I'll kind of say, hey, final questions or whatever. We'll go to break. And we'll go to our first break. Okay. Jen, you good? You ready now? Yes. Okay.
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right.
Yes.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. So here we go. We're coming in 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. It's brought to you by Windstorm Products. It's the best place online for your hurricane shutter installation tools. They've got hardware and construction fasteners. Just visit windstormproducts.com and you can stock up now before the storm arrives. Again, that's windstormproducts.com. They're the official hurricane hardware supplier of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks to our Patreon teammates for supporting the show. Tonight, we actually also have some girls who chase Patreon members with an opportunity to watch us live and join us live. I know we've got one of ours live. Josh Burnham is out there. If you are watching us live, go ahead and let us know in the chat that you're here. We also have a couple of our VIPs back in the green room. Dan Wallace, Angela Krager is back there. You can also join our Patreon team. We've got multiple level of perks. You can find the link at stormfrontfreaks.com. So it's always happy hour, which is always fun, right? Anytime we record, doesn't matter when it is. Now, it's normally every other Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. But it is always happy hour. So it gives us a chance to, number one, let you know. We are a weather podcast, storm podcast, but we like to have fun and not keep it too serious. But the second thing it allows us to do is introduce the co-hosts that are with us tonight. So we're going to go around the horn, find out what everyone's drinking tonight. I'm going to start up in Minnesota with Mark MJ Johnson, our producer and Skywarn coordinator up there. MJ, what are you drinking? Or what were you drinking?
Yeah, well, no, I still have some, actually. I've
Good.
unleashed the Kraken tonight. So it's Kraken and root beer. So it's a Kraken barrel is what I call it.
Yes.
Kraken barrel. What is it?
It's spiced rum, right?
Yes,
It's
correct.
rum?
Yep,
Oh,
it's rum.
okay.
But what was
That's
it? Was
so
that
much
your
fancier.
drink? Remember back when we had drinks named? Was that the
No,
one named after you?
No, it was
or-
actually the Captain with root beer, which also
Okay.
is good. But
Which is a Captain Barrel.
a Captain barrel, I guess. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
All right. On that note, I'm going to go to Mark Maz Massaro, our
Okay.
former on-camera meteorologist. What do you got tonight?
Can't see it, but it says Topo Chico. It's a hard seltzer. Exotic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Sounds exotic.
Sounds like
Good.
it.
It is.
Sounds like it.
Topo Chico. It's, yeah.
Good job.
Good.
All right. Dina Knightley, our meteorologist and weather producer with the Weather Channel. Dina, what do you got this evening?
I just have my basic Michelob Ultra. I'm not as fancy as you guys, but it's
That's
good.
not true. You get really fancy sometimes.
Sometimes I get fancy.
You're keeping it simple.
My
That's
hooch. Yep.
good. Your hooch. All right, Jen Watson, our contributor at the Weather Channel. Jen, what brand of water are you drinking tonight?
oh my God. I've got like the
Ah!
biggest mug of water.
Oh, that looks
It's
good.
I know
huge.
her
It's,
so well.
it's nothing fancy. It's just a huge thing of water. It's been
Half a
hot
gallon.
lately. And just running around with my 2 nieces and my daughter. So lots of stuff going on. Staying hydrated. That's what I'm
That's
doing.
huge. That's
I
what you
know, it
feel
really
for a
is.
hurricane, right? Don't you feel
I
that?
know.
Large and- She'll be taking a bath in that later. Serena Arnold, our meteorologist, former meteorologist at Mount Washington Observatory, but representing the beautiful state of New Hampshire in the Mrs. America pageant coming up here in a few weeks.
Woo!
Yay.
What are
get
you
'em.
drinking? What are you drinking?
Yeah, I'm just going to disappoint people tonight. I normally have a really great weather beer, and the closest I could get tonight was a beer called Two Lights for lighthouses to see through fog. It's a stretch, people, I know, but it is from a really good brewery called Allagash. It's a nice white beer that's fermented with champagne yeast.
Wow.
Wow.
That sounds
Wow, that
actually
is
really
fancy.
good.
So many
Serena.
cool beers now. Remember when it was like Budweiser and Blush?
And
Yeah.
Schmidt and Blatz and Red,
That
White,
was
and
it.
Blue and all those other
Yeah.
ones we were talking
Now
about
there's so many
earlier.
beers.
Beer is fun now, like literally fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to hear our previous beer conversation before we started the show, become a member of our Patreon or wait a few weeks and you can watch it on YouTube Live. So, all right, let's get to our esteemed guest, Maz. Get us going.
Awesome. We have Jen Walton, storm chaser and founder of Girls Who Chase. So storm chasing since 2018, Jen spent the first 17 years of her career working with scientists, engineers, and urban planners, which will make you drink, by the way, to craft communication strategies for effective climate change and science communication. She brought her expertise in communications and her understanding of working in technical fields as a woman to create the Girls Who Chase concept and find new ways to address systemic gender disparity issues and enact cultural change, not chains. That's the beer talking right now. Sorry. Her work has since been featured in the Washington Post and on NBC, Good Morning America, and the Today Show. Jen, welcome. And what are you drinking tonight?
Woo.
Thank you very much. That was an interesting Freudian slip there.
Sorry.
I am, and you Weather Channel folks will appreciate this, I'm sure. I am from the South originally, so I'm drinking a riff on Jack and Coke, which is very Southern, I guess, or at least was when I used to live there. And I call it a DP and rum, just as equally as classy, Diet Pepsi and rum with lime.
Woo!
All right.
I used to drink
Alright.
it all
That's
the
good.
time, Jen. I love that. Yes.
It's my go-to. It's easy, it's quick,
And
yeah.
delicious.
and
So-
delicious.
Jen, have you noticed we actually have more female meteorologists on tonight than anybody?
Look
Right?
at that.
I noticed.
Nice.
I love it. Thank you.
So you were talking earlier about when you guys have the Girls Who Chase meeting. Run through a typical meeting, what you guys do on a typical day for a meeting. Like you made it sound like it's a long day.
It's so funny because so first of all, we're actually celebrating our 1-year birthday as of yesterday.
Congratulations.
Happy
Wonderful.
It
congrats.
started, thank you. Yeah. And it's just kind of crazy to think about where we are now compared to where I was and where the concept was a year ago, which was an Instagram page. And it really was born out of my desire to bring more female storm chasers to the forefront. I mean, it's how this all came about is a big part of my story in becoming a chaser, and really my extended delay in becoming a chaser. That it really is something I should have done 15, 20 years ago. 2018 was late, and there are a lot of reasons that I should have started sooner, but going through that process of self-discovery and finding that I had been telling myself that I was not capable of being a chaser for a variety of reasons, wasn't a meteorologist, needed to go with experts. But frankly, the big one was I hadn't really seen people who looked like me storm chasing. And I was an avid consumer of all of the reality shows, all of the media, everything that was available. And for the most part, women kind of played a token role in a lot of those shows. It was somebody's girlfriend or wife. They weren't a consistent presence on the shows. And I think I internalized that without realizing it. And I think it, speaks to some deeper cultural issues that women struggle with relative to making life decisions. So it took, a series of life experiences and, a desire to get out there and do stuff instead of sitting around and wishing I was doing stuff to start chasing. And I, over time found that for one reason or another, it's not that there weren't female chasers out there. And I'm by no means a pioneer in this area. I follow in a long line of amazing female chasers, but why wasn't I seeing them? And I think that's really the issue here. And so it took a combination of, I think, speaking with other female chasers and my own experience chasing with male chasers to realize that we really do actually have a representation issue here. And unlike my experience in the sciences, which was more, I think, rooted in like deep-rooted misogyny and general patterns of behavior. That was not the case, at least for my experience in the chase community. But it appeared to be a cycle that was kind of being perpetuated by media and cultural understanding of who a chaser was that had been defined by prior media coverage of chasers who were mostly men. So media were going to men for footage, covering them, etc. That's who people thought chasers were. And then the cycle began anew. Media wants to, meet cultural demands. So their assumption was that was what culture wanted. So they went back to men. And women ended up somewhat marginalized for no other reason, I think, than we were locked in this pattern that maybe not everyone was conscious of. So to me, it seemed like it was time for someone to start to elevate content and voices. And Instagram just seemed like the right platform because it was a media aggregator, like photography, video, etc. I actually hate Instagram, so that's a whole other. But it was the right platform at the time. And pretty much the moment I launched the Instagram, it was very clear that this energy had been in place for a much longer time than me, even much longer than I'd been chasing, because people just went all in. I was getting content submissions from like globally, from women, from storm chasers all over the world, and started to hear from, for example, like a science teacher who said, I'm showing this page to my students. I want kids to be interested in science. I think weather is a great entree into science. And I want them to know that girls can do anything. And so I think it's important to do that. And it was almost through that journey of launching the Instagram page that I realized we're kind of onto something here. And we're filling a gap I don't know that anyone realized we really had relative to, helping amplify some of these voices. And because of my communication background, I started to think about, okay, what are other ways? So if female chasers aren't being covered in media, then we need to create our own. So maybe we need a podcast where we can tell people's stories and talk about their journeys into storm chasing that other people might be able to relate to. Let's, create a variety of different educational resources, because it sounds like maybe knowing how to get started is a barrier to entry. So, and over time, as we began to add different tools and resources, more and more people started showing up and we were getting more and more interest. And so we formally launched January 2022 with a podcast and a promo video, et cetera. And I think you all spoke with Melanie Metz shortly after that, actually, and she was an integral part of that launch. And then we started getting media requests. And it has kind of.
Hey, Jen, I'm going to throw in there the reason probably you were getting all those media requests because everyone heard Melanie on our podcast, right?
That's probably what it was.
I'm giving you crap. There's no way that was it, but
it's fair. It's totally fair, right? We all know Melanie.
It was a good launch. You guys had a great launch, though. And the video was cool.
Thank you very much. I am under no illusion, of course, that it was. To your point, Phil, it was critically important that Melanie be an active part of this, because to me, she's a representative of an era of women in storm chasing that I will never have been a part of because I wasn't there. And she understands the history, and has kind of had all of the experiences that we've struggled with over time. And so I don't know that I could have effectively done this without a partner like Melanie. So thank you for pointing that out. That's actually probably partially true. So I think it was, you normally expect media coverage to kind of peter out after a while. And what has happened instead is it's gotten progressively bigger. Like the outlets have gotten bigger. And I think some of that is due to a lot of interest from broadcast Mets, female broadcast Mets. And, I keep asking folks, where's that interest coming from? Is it about representation? Is it about different ways that we can engage girls in STEM? Is it And so that's been kind of an ongoing conversation. But because of the continued scaling and scope of the coverage, I then started to hear from a variety of different entities, whether it was like a STEM education partner or, for example, I just had a conversation with my 6th production company today who think they have a show. And I'm being pretty particular about this. We're not aiming for the Real Housewives of Kansas here. That would actually defeat the purpose, although I'm sure someone thinks that's a good idea. But
everybody would watch it. You'd get a lot of coverage probably. Right?
Probably.
Unfortunately, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I guess that's the point is, like, I think that's what folks would expect from something like this, when in reality, you have a bunch of very serious, capable, talented female storm chasers. And so I think the goal ultimately is to just say storm chaser instead of female storm chaser.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yes.
I mean,
Agreed.
Right.
It's like pilots. Everything's female pilot. It's just they're just pilots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You never see, no one ever prefaces it with male. Like, why does it
Yeah,
get prefaced
never.
with female?
Wait a minute, Dina, isn't your nickname Lady Pilot?
Yeah. Yes.
She's a
Because
lady.
I'm a
darn
lady.
it.
Okay.
But it's like when it's always been my big pet peeve when like when there's a crash or something, like female pilot crashed it. Well, the other 99 weren't female. Just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
This is true.
That always kind of bugged me.
Yeah. So Jen, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
One of the quotes I really like is it says something to the effect of like, tell me, what will you do with your one wild and precious life? And I think a lot of people have to think about like, gosh, what's finally going to make you jump? What's finally going to make you do that thing? And you talked about earlier wanting to chase and it taking time, and you thought about it. And for whatever reasons, that you didn't do it, that's fine. Let's throw those aside. Why did you? What was the reason that you finally jumped? What was the reason that you finally decided, you know what, darn it, I'm going to go storm chase?
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. And relevant too. And I relevant because part of the message from Girls Who Chase isn't necessarily just about engaging in STEM. It's about empowerment and reminding women that they're capable. And so it's not that we want every woman to storm chase, although that'd be wonderful. It's more that we want them to ask themselves that question and find that thing that brings them joy, and then recognize that they are capable. And so for me, it was kind of a convergence of life things that had happened. I think, at some point, by the time you've hit your mid to late 30s, you really can't escape life throwing stuff at you, and you start to question your life decisions and decide different things and take different action. And for me, it was life things. And then I was diagnosed with a chronic disease actually in 2015, type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune disorder where your pancreas stops producing insulin. So there was an element of, life is short and it's time to stop spinning in circles and go do the thing. For the longest time, I had been asking people to take me chasing. Because I work in the science community here in Boulder, I'm a degree removed from a lot of the folks doing severe weather research out here. And so I did my darndest to get them to take me with them. And I got a whole lot of promises, and then it never happened. So I had sort of resigned myself to, well, I guess this is just not going to happen. And then happened to come across an ad for a chase tour and caught myself saying, well, I can't do that. And then I thought, well, why am I thinking that? Like, I actually, I don't know if you've ever caught yourself having.
I've caught myself saying that many,
Right?
many times. Like, why not me? I ask myself that a lot.
It's a great question to ask, I think, because, and the answer is, why not? Exactly. And so I thought, this seems like a slightly less insane way to give it a try. These people know what they're doing, and I can stick my toe in the water and see if it's as much of a match as I think it is, and, not die. That was kind of the goal, right? I was like just
Yeah.
barely smart enough to be like, I'm not going to drive out to a severe storm without a clue. I should probably go with an expert the first time. And because it was 2018, it was a slow season. So we didn't see a whole lot on the tour, but I spent the entire 7 days just asking rapid fire questions. I mean, to the point where I was like annoying me, but the tour guides were wonderful, wonderfully patient,
Those
answered all my
tours are
questions.
expensive. You get your money's worth, Jen. Get
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
dollar out of it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I actually think they were excited because most tour guests, it seems, go for the adrenaline rush and don't really care about the mechanics or how they get to where they're going. So they were thrilled to talk about the actual science and the forecasting and the decision making. But I learned just enough to be dangerous, pun intended, and got home and thought, I'm going to teach myself to forecast. Like I know enough to know that I can figure this out. I can learn this, and I can teach myself to chase. And I didn't really know any other chasers or anyone who chased. And so if I wanted to get out there, I was going to have to get out there basically on my own. So I started to study forecasting, and about 2 weeks later, I live just north of Denver on the Front Range. I watched a storm come out of the foothills on radar, and I just learned about the flying eagle presentation of a rotating storm, where it just kind of looks like two wings, and it was already hooking kind of almost before it had made it out of the foothills. And I thought, that thing's going to do it. Like I don't know how I knew. I just thought, that's going to put a tornado down. I want to see my first tornado. I'm going after it. And so I flew out of the house and I was in such a rush that I was actually still wearing my pajamas. So I was like totally on the wrong. I was on the west side of the storm. And I got stuck in traffic in a suburb. I made a whole bunch of terrible rookie mistakes that, obviously you don't think about when you're on a chase tour. And then I crested a hill, and in front of me was my first tornado, the 2018
Nice.
Prospect Valley tornado.
Oh,
And
Nice.
Good for you.
that did it. I was like, oh, I am in, sign me up. I am so I have this forever memory of kind of jumping up and down in my pajamas outside my car.
That's classic. That's a memory you'll keep.
It's so perfect. You
Yeah.
never regret the things that you do. You always regret the things you don't do. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've done the exact same thing before, just so you know, Jen. I've actually chased in my pajamas. Yeah.
So we have a term for it now. We call it pajama chasing. And people will message me and be like, pajama chasing, found a little storm outside
That's
the
great.
house. I'm out with my camera.
Yeah,
Dina-
people
Dina,
won't get confused with that name. They'll know what it is. Pajama chasing, right?
Hopefully,
Maybe next
hopefully
year,
not.
Serena, we'll do that. We'll do a day.
Oh, I'm packing my pajama pants right now. I'm going upstairs.
Oh my God.
I'm
I'll
ready.
bring mine. We'll do it together.
Oh my
Jen,
god.
you
Alright.
can join us on our storm chase.
I
next
love
year.
it. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. So, Jen, I have to ask you, with how much you've grown in just 1 year, what is your vision for the future? Do you ever anticipate just, going all in on Girls Who Chase and just, making that your job?
It's funny. I have been saying pretty much the majority of my career, my dream job would be doing severe weather communication, where I would get to be out in the field. So this is sort of hilariously ironic, the way these pieces have come together. And of course, I mean, if Girls Who Chase, I did not create it to make money. I didn't create it as a business entity. That was nowhere near the plan.
Well,
but-
now that's going to be great now because they didn't
I mean,
start off with trying to make money. So it's going to be
yeah.
successful.
I mean, that really, what was behind it was a desire to help other people and make change. And I think that's hopefully translated to the majority of folks. But down the road, if this thing can fund itself and support my chasing and continue to make a difference and really actually put a dent in, some of the gender disparity issues that we're seeing, I can check that box 100%.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is time for our first break. So go ahead and get your refill. We've got the history of the 2004 Roanoke F4 tornado for you while we're on break. And when we come back, we will have Jen. So stay tuned.
Jen, I love your passion. Like seriously, your story,
Thank
your
you.
vulnerability, everything. It is so incredible. I just have to
Thank
say it.
you.
I'm
Thank
beyond
you.
inspired right now. Like I want to go
That's
chasing with you.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yes,
Let's
we'll
totally
make it
do
happen.
I mean, and I hope that's translating too with Girls Who Chase, just in general. There's certainly something about engaging women in weather when you've got this kind of added element of badassery of storm chasing, you know, that I think is helping. So
That's what breaks
yeah.
the mold, though, right? It's like it's very weird for women to be dangerous, right? It's like we're caring, we're mothers, we're this, and that's how we're always viewed. And I understand there's probably like human basic function, like in our basic brain, like, yeah, okay, I get that. But how do you can still break those molds. You can still be a mother and caring person and still be a badass storm chaser.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of stuff that's so important for people to see is that there aren't these molds. There's not these barriers.
Absolutely.
All right. Dan, Angela, either one of you, do you guys have any questions for Jen while we're on break here?
Come on, Angela.
I'm good.
Don't get you started. Wow. Okay.
No, I mean, like, about the whole, well, I guess because I work in a male-driven industry, I go on forever about that stuff.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. I get that, Angela.
It's like, oh, you're a woman working, you're a female truck driver. It's just like, no, I'm a truck driver.
Just yes. God,
Right.
just say
Yep.
just, knock it off.
Angela, you should start an Instagram account. You never know. Like you
I
should do
agree.
something.
I
Yeah,
have a Facebook account. It's called Life Between the Lines.
that's fun. That's
That's
awesome.
a creative name. That's good.
It is
Yeah.
a creative name.
I'll follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do it now. Come on. I got
we'll
my
support
phone.
you. That's awesome.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Dan, you got anything?
Forgive me if someone already asked this question, but who was your mentor?
Ooh, good question. So for about the first year and a half of chasing, God bless her, it was Ashley LeCoupe. So I went out with Extreme Tornado Tours, who I know you guys have spoken with Nick Dreischman previously. And Ashley, it was her first or second year guiding as part of the tour. And she actually not only answered questions, but she was a great teacher. So instead of answering sometimes, like I would say things like, I would have targeted here, like I'd be watching radar if I wasn't chasing. Why is everyone farther south? She would say, well, which parameter do you think would answer that question? For example. So that was how I learned about dry lines. So I thought the northern storm looked good, but I didn't know about dry line bulges yet and wasn't doing my meso analysis correctly. So I actually think I learned better that way because I was the one who went and figured those things out. And then one day I ran out of questions, and that was kind of how I knew, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. And since then, I mean, I used a combination of resources to do my learning. Titan U was a big one. Rachel Sanner, who is just absolutely brilliant at weather education. And that's part of why we're partnering with them now to do a whole bunch of education stuff, but a lot of future collaboration potential. So, yeah, that was another big one. Skip Talbot for storm spotting, et cetera.
Thank you.
It's always fun to have so many like meteorologists in one place because it's like if you go into a kitchen, you tell them all to make one type of dinner, it's all going to be a little different. It's all going to have a variation. So it's kind of interesting to hear like, oh, well, I really like to look at this parameter and I really like to look at this parameter and this is why. And I've learned a lot over the years from other people just from, because I do think we kind of get stuck in like a rut, I guess is the word. Like I look at the same things over and over again. Like I guess I get used to my go-tos. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear something or like a website, a new website that I haven't seen. And I'm like, wow, okay. So it's actually good to talk to other people and see what they think. I like it.
Making mistakes, I've found, has been the best
Yeah.
way to learn.
It's true.
Oh, you
It's
learned that
very,
way
very
too?
true.
Every time I got burned.
Yeah, I've got a few really bad ones. Like
As long as you
driving
can walk
from
away
an
from
attic
it.
storm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you
This
know,
is- yeah,
that's like
true.
that's a
True.
really good thing though. Like that's one thing that I try to do with my girls is when something goes really wrong, we try to treat life as an experiment. And when something goes wrong and they start bursting into tears, I'm like, what did you learn? Like, yeah, okay, maybe it broke, maybe it didn't work, but like, let's figure out what you can learn from this. It's just such a key life skill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
That's
God, Serena, I have to add to
big
that
one.
because I got a great like parenting tip. Instead of like asking other things, ask your daughter or your children, what did you fail at today? Encourage them to try. And not like you want them to fail, but like, what did you fail at today? Like what awesome thing did you try, and that understand that failure is not necessarily a bad thing, like it
Right.
means that you're trying and going.
Scientists never get mad about failure because everything's an experiment. It's just a hypothesis with different variables, and your hypothesis is either true or false. Why don't we
Yeah.
apply that to life? But that's a different soapbox. I'm not going down that road.
It's true. This is very, very true.
All right. Well, let's keep moving because we're already kind of getting
Yeah.
late on things. All right. So here's what we'll do. We'll come back, and I will we'll start questions. I've got a question I'll start with. We probably won't go more than maybe another 10, 15 minutes at the most, and then we'll hit. That's the sound for our lightning round. So Jen will hit the lightning round with you, play a little game show, and then take our final break. So we'll go maybe another 10, 15 minutes before the lightning round. Is that good?
Great.
Perfect.
All right, here we go. So we are coming back in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here with Jen Walton. Jen, obviously, the one thing I want to point out is your communications background shows in what you've been doing with Girls Who Chase, because you've done an outstanding job with that. As I mentioned earlier, your launch that you guys did and the video you did and all of that has been outstanding. So kudos on that. The question I've got for you, though, is really covering something that a lot of chasers deal with, which is those that are trying to take their photos, take their video, and maybe try and sell it, make a buck or two with it. I want to jump back. It was probably a month or so ago that I remember on Twitter, you were talking about Storyful.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently you've had some unpleasant experiences there. So I think we were just talking about on break, right? How you can learn even when you make mistakes, or how you can learn when you fail. And there are things to learn from that to make us all better. So I really want to talk about this, and so that everybody can learn from an unpleasant experience that unfortunately maybe you had. But what is Storyful? What happened there? And what did you learn from it?
Sure. And I would love to say first, too, that I've recently gotten into conversation with Eric Fox so that we can develop a training program that's going to be complementary to the Chaser Summit. We're looking at some skills building development work, probably slated for spring 2023, and hopefully some of it's going to cover some of these topics. So Storyful, essentially, if you want to broker or sale chase video, weather footage, etc., you kind of have 3 options is what I've found. You can work through a broker, like an actual broker that specifically works with weather footage. And typically they're very well connected. They take a small cut. You don't have a whole lot of work on your plate. Your secondary option is there's almost like brokers for the brokers. And so that's the Storyfuls, the News Flare is another one, Viral Hog is a third. And they tend to troll social media when people post videos and offer to license them. And there are pluses and minuses to that, because they typically will license footage that may not have been saleable or that you thought wasn't worth a whole lot. And occasionally you can actually make a couple of bucks depending on what it is. It's the way the cut works, and then a fee that they sort of conveniently forget to tell you about, where the trouble starts. So they'll always start with either a 50-50 or a 60-40 cut, and most folks don't know to negotiate. So you're kind of already getting screwed to begin with. Whereas with brokers, you might get a better cut to begin with. And then in addition with Storyful, they actually tack on €100 fee. So let's say that they sold your video for $150, and then you've agreed to a 50-50 cut. You make $0 on that video, and they make, you don't even know because they're not actually transparent about the numbers. So that's happened with me a couple of times where I actually had to follow up with them. It's not like they ever told me they sold the video, and it took them days to respond. And when they did, they were like, oh yeah, I mean, essentially you actually owe us money because of this fee.
My God.
I mean, they didn't actually mean that. What they meant was, we made some money, you're not making any, sorry, move on, but the fact that I had to proactively follow up with them to find that out, that there was no transparent way for that to be tracked. There was the communication was terrible. And so the reason I posted it is because I wanted people to know that you don't have to put up with that stuff to make money. There are a lot of different ways. The third way is to self-broker. And I was lucky enough to sit in on a talk a chaser gave a couple of years ago about, and shout out to Marcus Diaz for this, because it was, nobody asked for it, but he did it anyway because he was so tired of people seeing people give stuff away for free. And so he talked about the process, how you connect with people, the type of communication. And it sounded entirely doable to me. I'm very familiar working with media because I work in public relations. So I'm no longer going to work for the brokers. I occasionally sell stuff to Newsflare because you can just upload it, and it's typically things I think that brokers wouldn't necessarily take or work with. But I want people to understand what stuff is worth, what they're worth, what their stuff is worth, and to stop taking junk. I mean, we work as chasers, we work very hard. We drive thousands of miles. The hours are long. A lot of folks choose to eat junky gas station food, right? We sacrifice, right? We sacrifice health, family, relationships, and then they're just trying to gyp us out of $100. So it's like, come on, we deserve better, essentially. And so when that kind of stuff happens, I want to call it out because I want other people to look elsewhere, or at least recognize that they deserve better or that they can negotiate.
So where do you find more information like that? Because you talked about the brokers 60-40. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And then you said just the brokers, and I'm like, so was 90-10, 80-20? What are we talking here?
It depends on the broker. So I don't want to throw numbers out necessarily because I think it probably depends on the agreement and the relationship. But they don't tack on a giant fee, and typically their cuts are better. They also have multiple ways of bringing in revenue. So some of them will also post video to YouTube, and if that starts to make money, you have that additional income stream, where that's not always the case with like a Storyful, for example.
So how do you find
That's so
them?
Crazy. Oh, go ahead. How do you find them?
How do you find the brokers then?
Yeah.
So I think there are a few brokers who are specific to chasing, like Livestorms Media is the first one that comes to mind. And then there's Storm Chasing Video, which is Doug Kiesling. Those are the two that I can think of immediately. I work with Doug, and it really was I actually got connected with Doug through Melanie. I had been brokerless for the majority of my time, and frankly, video isn't necessarily my primary reason for chasing, although it's always nice to make a couple of bucks or like pay for your gas money or
cover
something.
your gas.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I know a lot of chasers who are way better videographers and video producers than I will ever dream of being. And that's great. Like, we all have things we're good
Why
at.
not you, Jen? I'm just going to throw that out there.
This is
Why
true.
not you?
Why not?
You can do it.
It's because I don't enjoy it as much, to be honest. Like, I'll take video because I want to capture the storm and I want to be able to look at it later and enjoy it. But I've actually avoided purposefully depending on taking video and selling it as a way to make an income, because I feel like it would take the joy out of chasing and make it, then I would start grinding. And I think there's a balance. And that's also why I have a job. That when I am chasing, I can still approach it and just enjoy my time out there and not get stressed about the fact that it didn't produce a tornado, or that I'm not seeing what I want to be seeing because I wouldn't be able to sell it. So I think that's really at the crux of why.
That makes sense. No, I love that. And then Jen, one final quick question I have for you is, do you have like a sneak peek of something you want to give us here on the podcast, like an exclusive that's coming up for Girls Who Chase, or
for free.
or you know, what you have down the road you're thinking for like 2023?
Maz, no broker fees?
Right? I know. I might have to take a cut of this. So the big one is I'm really digging into accessibility. So I mentioned that not knowing how to get started I've noticed that it's a barrier to entry for women. And this is largely because they've told me that. So I've done a bunch of polls kind of asking, you know, what would you like to learn? What kinds of content would you like to see? And almost 100% of responses I've gotten have been, please help me understand how to get started. And so we were, in part because there's already wonderful resources out there like Titan U and Rachel Sanner, I've started down the road of, you know, how can we begin to aggregate these resources and then produce them in a variety of different ways so that they're accessible to a broader audience. And that is both adult education and K-12 as well. So we're actually looking at both and speaking with potential partners for both. And one of the easiest low-hanging fruit ways was just to take all of these wonderful but disparate resources that I used to learn how to chase and that other folks have identified and put them all in one place. So, and that's our website, girlswhochase.com. You don't wake up one morning and then go to Storm Chasing 101 when you decide you're a storm chaser. And so I think, you know, there's a variety of different levels of understanding and skill sets with people coming into this, and some of it matters from a safety perspective and otherwise. So first we were aggregating resources. Now we're actually moving into developing resources. So, here's your sneak peek. We are moving into a partnership with MedEd to develop some less technical, more accessible weather-related and storm chasing resources to produce for folks. So this is brand new, so I'm really excited to be able to share that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
And then
sorry. So that is the sound for our lightning round. So Jen, this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions that we play with our guests. And so tonight we're going to pull out a oldie but goodie. This one's called Weird Things That Humans Search For.
This is always a good one.
Weird things that humans search for. So this is a game, a real game actually you can get. And the key is you're trying to think of, there's the top 10 things that people search for. So I'm going to give you a statement, and there's basically going to be a blank somewhere in that statement that people are typing in. They're going on to Google and they're typing in, you know, how do you change a blank? Right? Like change a tire, change a diaper, change something like that, right? So I'm gonna give you a question, and I'm gonna start with you so that you can actually give me a response. and I'll keep going with you until you get one that's not on the top 10 list, right? And then I'll finish with each of our co-hosts to see if they can think of any as well. Does that make sense?
Got it.
All right.
Yes.
So, all right. So here we go. So the first thing, weird things people are searching for, is my boss is a blank. My boss is a something. I don't know why people are searching this because it's not really a question. But maybe they're looking. Really. It's maybe a support group. Maybe they're looking for, I don't know. But my boss is a what? What do you think my boss is a blank people are searching for?
Am I allowed to say a curse word?
Yes.
Oh, on our show, anytime. MJ just has to record the time.
Asshole.
My boss. Okay. Wow. This could kind of cover it all. But you know what? I'm going to say that's not on there, even though you're our guest. Normally, I'm pretty lenient with the guests, Jen, but I'm going to say that one's not on there. So, Dina, give me one that you think's on there.
My boss is a bully.
Is a bully. I'm going to give you Mean Girl. Mean Girl.
Oh, okay.
My boss is a mean girl was on there. Okay, Serena, what do you think? My boss is a
pushover or is weak.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Nope. Not on there. Maz?
Alien.
Thank God we got Maz.
Close, but no, that's not on there. Jen Watson?
Oh God. My boss is lazy.
No. MJ, last one.
My boss is a jerk.
A jerk. Now, see, which is good, but Jen Walton's asshole probably would have been the equivalent of that. So
wait.
I'm gonna say no on that. So here's what you guys miss. And the first one I don't even get. My boss is a Jehovah's Witness.
What?
Exactly.
That's so random.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
I want to see though. Is there a fembot? My boss is a fembot.
There is my boss is a robot. My boss is a robot. Compulsive liar.
Oh.
Know-it-all.
Know-it-all.
Control freak.
Yeah.
My boss is a Jewish carpenter. There's a good one.
Good Lord.
A slave.
Actually, yes.
A Jewish carpenter.
That's
right?
what I meant.
My boss is God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Slave. Okay, sorry. Slave driver, bad leader, and Republican. That's what this. All right.
Well,
we're moving. That one sucked. We're moving on. All right, Jen Walton. Here we go. Next one. Should I let my husband blank? So people are searching. Should I let my husband?
God.
What?
Sleep with someone else. I had to.
Yeah.
Go there. There you go.
Cheat is on there. So that's good. All right, another one. You're on a roll. I'll keep on you until you maybe don't get one. What else, Jen Walton? Should I let my husband
go on a trip without me?
That's a good one.
Travel alone. Yep.
Be good.
Very good. All right. Keep going. What else?
Jen, keep going.
Watch the kids while I travel.
Okay.
Like no one's gonna ask that. They're gonna be like, of course I'm gonna do that, right? When you like, I'm gonna try. You're watching the kids. I'm going out this time. I'm not even gonna ask Google if that should be something I do. I don't know.
I feel you,
All right.
Jen. I feel you, Jen.
Dina, should I let my husband?
Be a stay-at-home dad. Oh.
No, not on there. Serena.
I was gonna say quit his job, but I feel like that's too close to Dina's.
Yeah, it's too close to Dina's.
Yeah.
All right,
Good.
Mass.
Well.
Mass.
Snore.
Should I let him?
No.
Yeah, 'cause-
Jen.
Just saying.
Should I let my husband?
Text and call my friends. Kind of the same realm of cheating.
Personal on that one.
No, MJ.
Well, I'm going to say golf, but there's a good one in the comments too.
That's probably it. Golf.
I'm just thinking the second
No,
word.
some of these
beard.
are very similar. Should I let my husband go out with his friends? Go to a strip club. Leave.
Oof.
go to a bachelor party, share me, have a girlfriend, which like some of these are like cheats. They're kind of all the same. Do whatever he wants, and read my journal.
Interesting.
Those were, yeah. Okay, all right, last one. Jen Walton, back to you. Why does my girlfriend always blank? Why does my girlfriend always blank? What are people asking Google about?
Show up late.
Oh, that's a good one.
So late. So she's kind of late to the party. I'm going to say
look good.
no. They're not looking to ask why their girlfriend's always late. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'd look that one up. Jen Watson.
Why does my girlfriend take so long to get ready?
That would be a no. Nope. Dina?
Why does my girlfriend always nag me?
I'm going to say fight with me. Fight with me. Okay. Nag me. All right, Serena?
I was gonna say did you say nag? Because I was gonna say nag.
Yeah.
Dean and I are the same way.
Yeah, I said nag. Nag's already taken.
Why does my girlfriend take so long in the bathroom?
That's another good one, but that is not on there.
Read my journal.
This is 1980.
It's a man who's capable of learning right there.
All right, MJ.
We had this with the husbands, so let's go snore too. We got to do it with the women too.
That is actually
wow,
that is actually
really?
yeah,
Good job, MJ.
All right, so here are the other ones. Why does my girlfriend always talk about her exes? Isn't that a country song?
Oh,
I'm sure it should live in Texas.
Why does my people are asking why does my girlfriend always break up with me? I think that's an internal. They're going to have to look internally on that.
Yeah.
Complain or nag. That probably would have been another nagging one. Okay. Put me down. Want to go out. Why does my girlfriend always want to go out? Tease me. Sleep. Have to pee. Why does my girlfriend always have to pee? Anybody?
Silly.
Google probably doesn't have an answer for
Not
that.
a robot.
And the last one, why does my girlfriend always get UTIs? Like people are looking that up. So
That's weird.
yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, good job, Jen.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome work.
Well done.
So let's do this. First off, where can our listeners find you and Girls Who Chase?
For sure. Yeah, I'll start with Girls Who Chase. Everything is linked to our website, girlswhochase.com. And we are on Twitter and Instagram under Girls Who Chase, the handles. I am also on Twitter and Instagram as a storm chaser for my storm chasing content. My Twitter handle is Jen Walton, M-E Jen Walton. And my Instagram is Trailblazin' Maven.
Ooh.
And my website is jenniferawalton.com.
Love it. Love it. And
Trailblazing, say that again. Trailblazing what?
Trailblazin' Maven.
Maven.
Love it.
All
nice.
right.
And then one last question. Do you have anything to announce and share for our Stormfront Freaks Patreon members?
I do, yeah. So I have to thank you all. We did a little trade here. So Girls Who Chase has a Patreon, and we've been so thankful for our supporters who've stuck with us through the crazy last few months since we launched. And they have been given access to the live broadcast tonight. So thank you all for that. In exchange, we are opening up our monthly Q&A session where we kind of chat about behind the scenes stuff, next steps, open it up for questions, etc. To Stormfront Freaks patrons. So little chat with Jen and Melanie. Yeah.
Awesome.
So cool. Yeah. So I'll, for our Patreon members, you'll be seeing that here shortly on our Patreon page. So thanks for offering that up, Jen. Definitely appreciate it. Sure. It is, so everybody knows it is tropical season. It's upon us right now. And at helicity.co/SFF, they've got a huge selection of creative weather and hurricane themed t-shirts, gear, merchandise. but also some from the Stormfront Freaks. Like they've got a hashtag Weatherfools t-shirt. It's really cool. Lots of stickers, other stuff. All you got to do is go to the exclusive site, which is helicity.co/SFF. And you're going to earn 5% off your entire order while you're there. So just go ahead and click on the brands tab on their homepage, and you'll find all your Stormfront Freaks favorites. Yeah, I even have trouble saying that sometimes. And again, that's at helicity.co/SFF. So, hey, it's time for our final break. We've got more to come, including hashtag Weatherfools, funny weather memes, and a lot more. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Jen, great job.
Yes.
If I can ask you to do me one favor, other favor, can you do a quick little sound bite for us? And just say, hey, this is founder of Girls Who Chase, Jen Walton, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
For sure. Like now?
Go.
Apparently, yes. Hi, this is founder of Girls Who Chase, Jen Walton, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Well
Good job.
done.
Nice first shot.
Awesome. Hey, I do want to ask Dan, Angela, see if they have any additional questions. I know Josh has been online as well. He needs a drink. He's been editing for an hour and a half. So Dan or Angela, either one of you have any other questions for Jen?
I don't know.
Not at this time.
No. So Jen, here's the deal. So we've got one more little segment here of the show. You're welcome to stick around now and be a co-host and comment on all the crazy stuff we're going to see and talk about. But if you got to go, I get it too, and you can head out. So you can decide if you want to stick around.
I'm happy to stick around.
Beautiful.
I'm awesome at commenting on things.
Good. This is good. All right. So we are going to come back, and we've got hashtag Weatherfools. Jen Watson, you are introducing that, I believe. Are you still there? I see a blank.
She had to run to the little girls' room.
Okay. So who's got Weatherfools?
I do. I have one.
Dina?
I have 3, but they may be redundant for other people. At least one.
I'm not bringing any tonight, so you're probably good.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I feel like I'm redundant
Phil?
with you sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been having the clicky crap when I've been sharing my screen, so I'm getting a new computer
Taking
here,
the
and
night off.
that will hopefully fix it. But yeah, I'm taking the night off. And Jen Watson, do you have any hashtag Weatherfools to share?
I do. I have one. I got to see if I can.
Oh,
Don't
my
send
God.
it to me. I'm not
Go
going to
ahead
share
and
it.
share your screens, folks.
I know.
So Dina's got one. Serena has 3, and then you have 1. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. It
I
works.
got
Everybody-
Serena, Dina, and Jen. I got you all 3. So
Oh, yay. Good.
And then Jen, when they're all done, they can see them on episode 162. Show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com. All right, and you're coming into the Who.
Yeah.
And then Dina, you've got funny weather memes.
Okay.
You're coming into a little Bananarama. Okay.
That's a good song.
Cruel Summer. I don't know why I picked Cruel Summer for that,
That's
but
good.
that's what I got. So
I like
who's
it.
got funny weather memes to share?
I have one.
I have
So
one.
Jen's got one.
I
Yeah.
have 2.
Who does?
And Jen and Serena. So the girls again. Way to show up.
I actually have
I think
one.
Maz has his hand.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. No
No,
shit. Maz
no.
is bringing something to the table tonight,
It's
folks.
2022. It's time.
That's right. Wow.
Nice. Finally.
But can he share
yes.
his screen? Does he
Oh,
know how?
yeah.
Have
You want me to try now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, crap.
The other
That's right.
thing,
Wow.
gang, is remember, please email me these links where they are so we can get them in our show notes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I just sent you an email before the show.
As you do. You're always great with that, Dina. In fact, you are the best with that. I will say that.
Thank you.
I'll give credit where
I sent
credit
mine
is due.
before the show too.
You
MJ,
did
you had
too?
it?
No, you
Normally I
did too.
do it like a
just-
couple days. This whole week's been long. Like,
I usually do.
MJ
I'm
that.
got
trying to
that.
do my
Not an
shift.
A
I'm
student.
trying to do like like a bunch of like user group training with WSI at the same time, and I'm like, oh my god, I just
You're
need a
doing great,
nap.
Tina. You got this.
Woo!
MJ, did you get that? Did you get it?
Sorry. No, I do not.
Nice. What the
You're not
heck?
sharing.
Window.
Come on, Maz. You
What do
can
you
do
think?
it.
Chrome tab.
Sure.
Which
Sure
one do you
tab.
do?
Yep. The one that
Chrome
has
tab
the
or
meme
the
in it.
entire screen? Oh,
Tab
I
card.
see what you're doing. I see it. Okay.
Hey, look at that. It showed up.
see.
It
I
showed
see.
up.
Okay.
There it is.
Let me
Yep,
get rid of
got it.
that.
Okay.
All right.
Phil, should I
And
go
then
first?
Dina, when you're all done, 162 show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com.
Okay.
All right.
I don't
And
know.
then
We'll
Maz,
see, Dan. I hope it's not the skeletons, but we'll see.
and then Freak Fan Box for MJ, and I will close it out. We'll be
Okay,
good to
perfect. I'll probably end for Weather Fools. We've got Dina, Serena, us three, right? The women.
Yeah.
go. Yep.
I do.
Dina, Serena, Jen with the Weather Fools. Dina, Serena, Jen, and Maz for the funny weather memes.
Perfect. I'll probably start with Dina and then you, Serena, and then I'll end it.
And just a double reminder, audio podcast, so try to explain what you're seeing or what you're showing as much as you can.
Okay.
It's funny how our segments are really made for video and we're a podcast, but whatever. It is what it is. They can join our Patreon if they really want to see it, right? Okay, you guys ready? Let's do this. We'll get rolling.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it
All
going.
right, Jen, we are coming in 3, 2.
Welcome back. Oh, here we go. I got so excited there. Welcome back to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. This is Weather Fools. This is one of my favorite segments of the podcast because we catch people doing what they shouldn't be doing in the craziest of weather, and that's why we call them Weather Fools. It's just like, what were you thinking? And we are going to kick it off with Dina. Dina, you've got a hilarious one now, don't you?
I do, and this one is from a chaser because it says, because of this driver's speed and inclement weather, hail on the road, the vehicle lost control and went into the ditch. So, I mean, that's not really technically funny, but this is like ridiculous. So I'm going to, if you can check this out later, this guy goes by the chaser and I mean, whips by and he just goes by and goes into the ditch.
giddy
I
up.
mean,
that
I don't know
happens so
how
fast.
fast it went really fast. Now, luckily, the chasers were like cool about it and they went over and helped the guy. They're like, yeah, let's go get him. But I mean, you could tell from this video how wet it is.
Yeah.
And with hail on the road and how slippery it is, I mean, that is so foolish
Wow.
to go
Yeah.
by
Jen-
that fast.
Jen
And
Walton,
then
these can
boom.
be part of your training videos on,
Yeah.
right, on what not, like
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
chase, here's what you don't do, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
You don't need to
Yeah.
be doing 90.
Can I go walk over, knock on his windshield, and say, "Now what did we learn?"
Yes.
Hey,
It's
Dina,
not a failure.
you sure they didn't mean let's go get him?
Let's go get him. I mean, when I first saw it too, I was like, oh my God. And then he goes into the ditch. But then, the guys, I mean, you couldn't have recorded it better. Like right in front of them, right off the road next to them.
I
But
won't
then
lie,
they went
Dina.
over.
That actually looked a little more interesting than the storm they were looking at.
It did. It looked like
I
they were
won't
out of
lie.
it. But
Yeah.
maybe they're like, we missed it. Let's go find it. I don't know. But that's a good one. You've got to check it out.
Yeah, that's really wild. All right, Serena, let's see what you've got.
I do. I've got a couple here. So the first one is there's some flooding in Miami.
Oh, I've
And
used
there's
that one.
all of
I've
these
used that one
people-
already.
Oh,
It's
I
good.
remember this girl in this dress. Oh my God.
Dresses. So
Which-
there's cars driving through floodwaters, but these women in these like clubbing dresses also walking around with these cars going through floodwaters. And there's some really nice cars. They're getting in and out of like the sunroofs or moon roofs and sliding down
Oh.
the hood. It is just a complete and utter mess. Please don't drive through floodwaters. Don't ruin your heels and your nice
No.
dresses, people. Please,
And-
let's just not
What-
do this at all.
What I love about this
could
video-
almost be a rock video, but with these dresses. But
And look at people are driving by. It's like splashing.
Why
up.
does
I mean,
she
someone's gonna get
push this
seriously
car
hurt.
out?
What I kind
Yeah,
of love
I don't
about this
know.
video though is that she took charge. Like she's like, I'm gonna get
Right.
us through this. And she like crawled herself out of the sunroof and was like pushing the car herself instead of like being someone that's sitting in there. She's like, they shouldn't have gotten in that position in the first place. But
Oh
the
yeah,
fact
she's
that
probably like, my stupid boyfriend said he could make it through, and I told him he couldn't, and here we are, and now I'm getting out of it. Like we all know that's
Whoa,
what
whoa!
happened.
You bash it on the guys for what? All of a sudden, you turn.
I don't see his ass pushing it out there.
Was he there? I didn't see him.
Truth.
knows?
This is true. Okay. So the second weatherful I have is this guy who's just innocently walking, and he's not really a weatherful. He's more like just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's just walking along, and
Oh,
lightning strikes his neighbor's house, and his reaction couldn't be more nonchalant. If that were me,
Holy cow.
I mean, he like lifts his arms up to his chest a little bit, like, "Ooh, that was scary."
I'm not sure if he even knew where it happened.
I
It's
don't
like
thi- I-
Yeah, I don't think
at
he
it.
did. He just well, that sounded kind of loud. Well, his
Yeah.
He
neighbor's
was in the
house is
Great
probably
War.
on fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah,
Oh my
so it
God.
looks like grenades went off under the ground, and he
does. That was
just kind
crazy.
of shook it off. I'm actually quite impressed.
Yeah.
The last weatherful I have.
Ooh, this
Yeah.
one looks good.
This
is a good
one where there is a guy
Ooh.
who was photographing or
I saw
videographing
this.
an avalanche after a glacier collapsed, and he's standing there, and it looks like he's far away, but you don't realize how much power and water and
Oh my
snow and
God.
ice
Oh,
Here
yes.
it comes.
Oh yeah.
and it's getting closer and
Ah.
closer, and all of a
Here
sudden
it
he
comes.
realizes I'm in trouble. He has to take
He's-
shelter behind a rock.
Oh,
Oh,
And this
Mm.
avalanche blows by him. So I'll show it to you again. It looks
Wow.
like it starts so far away, and it's really crazy and incredible how quickly all of this snow and ice comes down this huge mountainside, and how fast. I mean, it's traveling at least 100 or 110 miles an hour, and you could see it blow by him, and he just takes shelter just in time. It's seriously
Man.
like something out of a Hollywood movie.
is that slowed
it
down?
is.
Wow.
Was that seriously? 'Cause I'm like, how?
don't know.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's one of the craziest videos I've seen out there.
That'd be horrible though to get caught in that. They say it's like cement, just getting caught in cement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. So I have one last one to wrap up Weather Fools. This is a compilation, and basically there was a lot of heavy rain, thunderstorms in New York City, and of course it turned the roadways, everything into basically like waterfalls, and you can see it, you can hear it, but people aren't being smart. They're walking around in this water, and
Yeah,
That's like shit
Driving,
water.
walking.
it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Shit water.
It
Yes.
smells like shit water when you walk through there sometimes.
You see the
and
sewer?
it's dry. It smells.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh,
That's not a baby Ruth.
No.
Oh
it's not.
no.
And this video is a compilation of probably like the worst decisions that like people.
oh, this
made.
one, yeah, the sinkhole. The
Yeah.
sinkhole is
Oh, there
good.
goes that man. Oh, that's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's really crazy, and this shows you, because I love that too, of like basically the van collapsing into it. You don't know what the roadway or the integrity of the road is like, when there's a flood. It could have collapsed during the flood too. So it's one of those things where we keep saying, turn around, don't drown, and just people don't care, and they just do
No.
what they want to do in floodwaters and kind of everything else. So yeah, with that said, you can see all of these episode 162 show notes. Go to stormfrontfreaks.com.
I just love this song. I got to kind of listen to it for a second and get my jam on. But this is a part of the podcast called the Funny Weather Memes, where, it's a funny weather meme. Do you really need more description than that?
Well, we hope.
But we're going to have Maz start it off because Maz has a weather meme.
No!
Oh my God. Maz is
No.
first. What do you got?
Woo!
Maz, you got to share your screen though, man.
I have to do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Oh, no.
I thought I was done with the heavy lifting.
Move on.
Somebody
Loser.
else.
Moving on.
Somebody else first. Go.
Matt
Somebody
now has
else.
the name.
I hope
for
this
the
is a
rest
good
of the
one.
show.
That's
We
not
just
the one,
built
is
it up.
Chrome
I can
tab.
go.
Go ahead. Who's next?
There.
Who's next?
No,
Go
I
to
got
the
it.
next
It's right
person.
there. It's right there.
Oh,
There.
there it is. There it is.
Okay.
So yeah, we've
Oh,
lost the
that's
momentum
cute.
here.
Oh.
Okay, there's 2 corn cobs. Walk into a bar. No. One comes in and he's all popped. So the other guy says hot outside.
So one's the corn cob, one's popped.
One's
That's
popped.
cute.
Yes.
It's a little
That's
hot.
cute.
Is
All
that
right.
possible? Can it pop and still stay on the cob though? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It's not a realistic
I don't
meme.
know.
Let's try it.
Doing
I'm
the
kidding.
beat.
It's
I
hot
know. I'm
enough.
totally
We could try
kidding.
it.
It's
I've
good.
like his
actually got
angry
some
face.
corn on the cob in my pantry. I just bought.
That's a good one.
All
I
right.
actually like that. Good
Actually,
job,
I was
Ness.
going to save mine till the end, but since it was that one, I'm going to show mine. And because it's Texas, and this one's old, but it's, poor Texas has been over 100 with triple digits. So this one was like, meanwhile in Texas, and the ice cream truck is melted. I love that one.
Nice.
And then from the Lord of the Rings, I'm not saying it's hot in Texas, but 2 hobbits just threw a ring in my backyard.
That's good.
I love it. Like some of these are so funny. Oh, some of these are, and then Texas be like, it's summer, folks, and they're on fire. So I just kind of loved it. I had to kind of follow up with the popcorn one.
That's good.
But
That's a cruel summer, folks. It is.
yes,
cruel summer.
exactly. All right, Jen, I think you have a good weather meme, right?
Yeah, I'm actually taking us to winter because
Cool it
Yeah.
off.
I love winter. I want to cool off. My daughter's like, I'm done with summer. It's just so hot. I want to just swim in the snow. And so this is one of the things where, you're running late and you have to defrost your windshield. And I see so many people do this all the time where they
Yes.
just make it just where they can barely see out. And I have to be honest, I've done this before too, where I'm just like, I'm going to make it. It's going to be okay.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Make sure
I
you
thought-
have a foot of snow on top of the car too that you haven't shoveled. That one's
Yes.
always a good one
Oh
too.
my god.
Yeah. So this is like one of my favorites. So yeah, I had to cool us down a little bit from all the heat. So
Yeah.
bringing
I
us
just
to-
want to know, where was Leo DiCaprio that he had to defrost his windshield or scrape off his?
I
They
don't
use that
know.
next to his on everything now, I think.
Yes,
That picture.
yes, I love
That's
that
good.
face.
I like
Right.
it.
Good
And
meme
then
material.
Serena, is she gonna go with hot or cold or something totally different?
I'm gonna mix it up on you guys. So the first is everybody saying, "Wow, 2022 has been wild. Hopefully the rest of you will be better." And then hurricane season, and you see a picture of Jim Halpert from The Office staring through the blinds,
Just like,
waiting
I'm coming.
patiently
I'm
for the
coming.
destruction. Exactly. So there's that one. And then the second one, going back to the heat, and we're feeling this one in New England right now with record heat and humidity and not having air conditioners up here. Not sure if
Yeah.
I'm still wet from the shower or already sweating.
Yeah.
That one's
That's
personal.
good.
You're sweating as you get out. You're
Yeah.
like, I just got to
Yep.
dry it all off.
You never
Yeah.
get off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have to say, when I was in college in North Carolina, majority of the dorms did not have air conditioning. I mean,
What?
it was so hot. It was I would
Yeah.
sleep with like 5 fans on me and I would still be like, oh, it was terrible. So yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that
All
meme.
right.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at them, episode 162 show notes on stormfrontfreaks.com.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, MJ's back with some
Yes.
mail. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, we got a little bit of mail in the Freak Fan box. Michael Binsky, former guest, of course,
Ooh.
sent us in a couple, and this is interesting because this was on June 5th. He tweeted to us, "Thanks, Stormfront Freaks podcast, for keeping me awake last night on the way to Denver. Laughed too loud at Tornado Greg's Have They Not Tried Drugs?" So
That's
late night driving to Denver for Mike. But then again, Mike checks in again with us on June 14th. Thanks again to Stormfront Freaks for keeping me awake last night. So apparently that's his. That's his
good.
go-to. It's better than putting him to sleep. Don't you agree?
That's right.
It's true. This is very, very true. I
So
love
thanks,
it.
Mike, for checking in with those. And then a couple of new ones. Brad, who's at Bayou Curious, was watching episode 140 or listening to maybe watching episode 140 with Matt Lanza. So he says, Brad says, at Matt Lanza, great episode with the Stormfront Freaks. Just discovered the pod and enjoying it. So we hope
Good.
Brad is
Thanks.
still enjoying more of our episodes
That's
as
great.
we go along. And finally, Clarence Smith, at Clarence W. Smith. At Stormfront Freaks, your Twister Watch Party episode got me through most of Kansas on Thursday and reminded me I need to visit Mecca. So, so thank you, Clarence, for checking in.
Man, how fast is he driving?
So we're keeping people. I don't know, but we're keeping people awake, folks. So
I
that's
love
good.
that. That's awesome.
So thanks everybody for checking in. That's the Freak Fan Box for tonight.
So epic.
Nice.
All right, well, that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. So thanks for listening or watching. Before I get to our next guest for our next show, if you like the show, don't forget to follow on your podcast player so you get notified and you receive the latest episodes of our show delivered right to your library the moment they get released. You can also find all the podcast player options at stormfrontfreaks.com. So if you want to know what a good podcast player is for your phone, you just check it out there. And also help us out. Send a friend your favorite episode. So if you heard a good episode, go ahead and share it. Text it to your friend just to let them know as well. You can subscribe to our YouTube page and watch all the previous versions of our recordings of Stormfront Freaks Raw. And of course, that is our completely unedited video of our audio recording. So you can hear all the great conversations during breaks, great questions from our VIPs for our guests, and of course, who knows what else gets beeped or edited out of the audio podcast. We even stream our recent storm chase that we did as a team here this past May. So that's also on YouTube. You can check that out. Or just go to stormfrontfreaks.com. You'll find the link there as well. There's kind of a theme going here. Stormfrontfreaks.com will kind of give you the links to everything. And of course, as I said, visit our website to find our Patreon link so you can check out all the ways we can do more for you and how you can also help support the show. So again, go to stormfrontfreaks.com. You can find that Patreon link to go ahead and join our team, our Raw broadcasts, and have access to lots of great and exclusive merch. So special thanks tonight to our guest, Jen Walton. Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Outstanding. It took us way too long to get you on the show, so that's my fault. I apologize for that. But so glad we had you on, and we'll get you on again. And then go around the horn quick, freaks, how people can find you. Jen Watson, I'll start with you. Where can people find you?
At JWatson_WX on Twitter and Jennifer Weather on Instagram and TikTok.
Beautiful. Dina?
I'm Lady Pilot 70 on Twitter and Dina OSU on Instagram.
All right, Mrs. New Hampshire.
I'm WX Serena with a CY on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
See, she makes it easy. Yeah, she makes it easy.
All right, Maz.
At Money Storm, the number 4U.
On Twitter.
Money
Okay, MJ.
Storm for you.
Money Storm.
At Mark Storm Pod on Twitter, and what's Instagram?
Still trying to figure that out.
I'll teach you.
You can find me on Twitter just right here at Stormfront Freak. Our next episode, so we're back in 2 weeks as normal. We're recording live on August 4th with the Storm Doctor, Jason Persoff. He's a storm chasing physician. He's a professor of medicine at the University of Colorado. So this will kind of just a different take. This is what's cool. Storm chasers come from all over the place. That's what's great about them.
Chasing physician.
Storm doctor. Yeah, this ought to be interesting. So
wow.
Patreon members, you can join our raw video recording live, and the edited podcast will be available to everyone else the following Sunday. So I think that's it. So for Jen and Dina and Serena, Maz and MJ, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we'll catch you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, Jen Walton, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Jen.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
job.
y'all. So
Yeah,
sorry
this is
about the
great, Jen.
technical issues.
It's totally
Yeah,
okay.
we
We've
got
all
it.
had them. We've all had them.
It worked out great, too. So it all ended
Yeah.
up good.
Yep,
A
it was
little
all good.
late, so apologize
Cool.
to Dina and everybody else that has to get up early. But
I took
cool.
tomorrow off.
oh, well then
Thank you.
what were you complaining about earlier?
Hi, Angela.
I get up at 2 a.m. That's
But not
what
tomorrow.
I'm complaining about.
Oh, you're sleeping tonight, baby. You are
Oh, hell
sleeping
yeah, I'm
in.
sleeping.
Angela,
I'm gonna
4 a.m.
pull a
Thank you.
12-hour
Oh, bye, Angela.
Bye, Angela.
Good. That sounds wonderful.
You
Thank
know,
you all
my
for
goal.
having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes,
Wow.
Jen,
Jen,
thank
you
you
were
again
amazing.
so
Thank you,
much.
Jen.
I will. So Jen, usually what I do is so we usually post it on Sundays. MJ does the editing, posts it Sunday. But some people, if you're not subscribed, you don't have access right away on Sunday. So normally I'm sending something out on social media on Monday, and I'll tag you just so you know, and you can go from there. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well,
Cool.
thanks for boosting Girls Who Chase too. Sure, appreciate it.
Heck
No,
yeah.
it's awesome,
No,
and
awesome.
would love to do more with you down the road. If you got any good ideas, you want to collaborate on something, just let me know. Happy to do that.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
come back.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. And sorry to interrupt you, Dina.
Oh no, and I
was
just
like-
love too that you guys like always reply and like, you know, I post stuff on your stuff all the time, so it's kind of fun to actually know that people are looking at, you know, they look at it and they see it. I'm like, when Serena and I and Brady were in the one car, we took that picture of that cloud. I'm like, that looks like the Girls Who Chase logo. And she's like, hold on. And then we took the
love it.
picture out of the window. I was like, yes. So it's fun.
I actually I took a screenshot of your tweet and posted it to Instagram as well. I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah, I think
if
I
there's
did
not
see it.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got a ton of responses. Like people loved it. So thank you for
I
sharing
think that's
that.
the most responses I've got because you said you retweeted it.
So what was the broker split on that one?
Oh yeah, right.
Good
Great
call.
question.
Must have been zero something. That's all right. All
No,
right,
you,
well,
you
that's
still
great.
own Storyful some money for that one, Dina.
know.
So don't
Right.
worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 do not recommend. Don't do it.
All right,
All right.
you guys.
Thanks,
you so
everybody.
much.
I'm going for my 12 hours. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.